layout sprites. It doesn't randomizes the level layout, but it randomizes the weapons. Where you get the weapons, the weapon get screens, the Robot Master locations, and item 1. You don't know how item 1 is going to be moving or disappearing.
Oh
so
no!
That's basically it.
Crabcake's hitting both whammies right off the bat, starting on Crashman, immediately resetting, finding Heatman next, resetting again, so a little bit behind here, taking about 20 seconds to get into the Bubbleman stage as CasualTom makes their way through. One of the things that is new to this year's tournament, the removal of zips being used, but also the enemy select screen is completely blank, so you don't know which enemy, the Robot Master, you're going to be picking until it's picked.
Well, I'll say for Crab Cakes, knowing where Crash and Heat are early, she actually has that knowledge, so she won't have to worry about picking them later on unless she forgets on the line. But anyway, seeing this Bubble Man stage, now that it is zipless, now you gotta deal with what we like to call a little bit of a seafood delight. We got shrimps on the other hand, these Metroid jellyfish looking like creatures, but Cracky is able to get through that pretty much with relatively light wounds as she's coming closer to the Bubble Man boss room. Just got to deal with this last stretch.
Yeah, for how difficult the enemies can be, Crabcake's definitely got the easy end of it, that's for sure. The shrimp can be very aggressive, and the Metroids just kind of seem to be, alright, I'm in the water, leave me alone, I'll just let you go by. As we see both runners actually into the boss room almost immediately second apart from each other.
Oh, Charlie's having that problems with the Bubble Man. He's gonna have to use the re-tank.
Like Crabcakes had quite a bit of an easier time with Air not being a jumpy boy, mostly spamming the tornadoes. So we still got a pretty tight one earlier, but we're gonna see if that time loss from going to those accidental stages earlier will be a factor as the race continues.
Okay, Tom unfortunately picks Air second, which instantly results in this. Air can be very, very, very difficult if you don't have weapons or items. This stage can have really bad enemy spawns and setups. Let's hope it's not as bad.
Well, this is definitely going to slow CasualTom down. Crabcake's, kind of pulled into the pits at the beginning for a bit of a pit stop with revealing the two whammies on the board. But that may end up saving her time in the long run. Let's say CasualTom doesn't get any items from this Airman stage, turns around and ends up picking the Crashman stage. That's going to cost him probably however many lives he has left to game over and get out of the stage, which is going to be significantly longer than 20 seconds.
Well, you also got to take into account the converse. What if one of the items that will make either Crash or Heat easier were in one of those stages? Not deciding to take the risk in doing that could wind up being costly for Crabcakes later on as well. But of course, there's no way to know that, as most of the time you're probably going to see those stages skipped. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword to choose to or choose not to go to these stages.
Yep.
Well,
It's basically luck. Each reset at the start of the game costs you like 6-7 seconds to check like heat, reset on heat, reset on this stage because it's difficult without items, but in the end you can also get the hard part. So you never know what you're gonna get. It's like Forrest Gump.
Ooh,
oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty significant weakness. We got bubble on bubble crime as Bubble Man gets killed by his own weapon, while CasualTom seeks out Crash in Air, Buster not being a strong soft weakness, and he's not doing any better. So right now we got ourselves an interesting converse in how bosses go for these two.
Yeah, Tom Tom tried the heat on Clash, but it wasn't working very well, so he lost time, resulting in that.
Yeah, Crabcake's getting a bit of a time here in the opening Woodman section. Metal Crusher's slowing Crabcakes down. Not taking too much damage, but we're into the hot dog area. And it looks like Crabcake's just going to buster them down as CasualTom starts on Bubble Man.
To pretty much go about in reverse face a little bit about the bubble weakness on Bubble, one of the things in a randomizer is that there are concepts called a great and an ultimate weakness. When you get great weakness, at least for this particular mode, you're going to deal about half a unit of about half a life bars of damage if it's a great weakness, whereas the ultimate weakness is probably about, say, about 2/3 about of the health bar. I'm pretty sure the bubble weakness on Bubble was an ultimate weakness. That was a large chunk of damage that was taken out.
Yeah, if I'm correct, there is only one ultimate weakness in the whole seed, and if you find it, it's very beneficial.
Yep, there's one great and one ultimate weakness each. As Crabcase finishes her visit towards the treehouse and going through the descent towards Woodman's door, as CasualTom is also revisiting going through the final stretches of Bubble.
Now, CasualTom is having a better time of things here through the Bubble Man stage, having what looks like charged heat ready to go and making short work of the enemies. So maybe a little bit, stage on stage might be a little bit of a net gain for CasualTom.
Yeah, he seems to like this charge heat. It's not instant heat. Like, heat can be randomized in multiple ways, but it still does the job.
Well,
We got metal. Go on ahead.
Yeah, making short work of the boss at the end of Woodman stage. I believe that was Metal Man.
Yeah, Metal Man being one of the 4 robot masters that are Buster Soft weak. And you're probably going to be seeing a lot of Buster uses thanks to the difficulty mode being on easy. So just to know, there are 4 robot masters that have a soft Buster weakness. In this particular mode, these soft weaknesses are going to deal 4 damage with the Buster. Of course, just to remind, we are on easy mode to accommodate newer players. So just to nip that in the bud, assuming that these players are like noobs or casuals or whatever you want to just say about it, as we got both our runners going through Flash.
Well, accessibility is definitely something you want to address, because you'll never get new players if you don't lower that barrier of entry, as it were. Crabcake's getting down to the bottom section a little bit quicker than CasualTom. We'll see if we have a free path to the E-Tank. Might even see a crash wall check.
Tom didn't check the crash wall with Buster, neither do Crabcakes, but Tom shooted one heat and it destroyed the crash wall, so we know it's heat, the weakness to the crash walls.
That's definitely some good information for Tom to have, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for the E-Tank and just keep right on going. As speaking of heat, we got heat in Flash Room.
Well, looks like Bubble's not effective, nor the first weapon Crabcake's used. So it looks like... Ooh, what was that? That was about 3/4 of a life bar gone in 2 hits.
Crabcakes surely has luck with the weakness. He actually found a lot of weaknesses, and that will surely help him in refights a lot.
CasualTom doing just as well. The weakness department finding Airshooter to be just as effective on heat. So we got a couple of good weaknesses found by both our players. So Flashman was pretty much just no issue as Crabcase takes the same exact fall that CasualTom did on his first entry into air.
Now we'll see how well CasualTom is able to navigate these Metal Crushers at the beginning of the Woodman stage a lot better. Ooh, getting clipped by one, but picking up a large energy drop. So it kind of worked out.
And both players getting the same death on the same place just shows At, as good as you can be, you cannot be prepared for everything. Like, you cannot know everything in this game, so everything can surprise you. So I would expect a lot more difficult places. As the seed progresses, Wily stages can be difficult.
Well, we gotta watch out for Crab Cage. Crab Cage health is pretty low, but at least she does make it to the midpoint of air. But she decides to go ahead and pop up the E tank. That could be a good maneuver. We always like to stress the use of E tanks whenever you can, but in this early going, especially not knowing what boss is along the way, using that very last E tank could be a bit, could cost her. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens as she continues on the rest of the stage.
Strictly from an analysis side of things, I think that E-Tank was kind of a mistake. Because if you take the death early on, get whacked by a lobster, you lose 5 seconds maybe from taking the death, and have the E-Tank to use later on. Now Crab Cakes might end up paying for it by taking a death against the boss. We'll see if it works out. At the end of the day, it is an E-Tank used, so hopefully a life's still saved as Crab Cakes takes on Crashman.
Yeah, to every argument though, there is a counter argument. You have a timer. So getting the E-Tank is way faster than dying. But I hate to see that Cupcakes is refusing to use weapons. He's relying more on Buster, which can be very treacherous on some places, especially when you're zipless.
Yeah, probably the complete reliance on Buster, especially comparing to CasualTom, who likes his atomic fire quite a bit, is kind of a bit of a good comparison to see how one takes one stage and uses that compared to another.
Well, what we do know right now is through the first 5 stages, since they're in Metal Man and both have Heat and Crash left, we can see definitively where one runner is compared to the other. And Crab Cakes is slightly ahead right now. It may be only a little over a screen, but still, through the first 5 stages, this is, a discernible lead that Crab Cakes has. There's no mystery as to what, okay.
Okay, here comes the chickens.
And here comes item 2 for CasualTom, and there's item 2 for Crab Cakes, using it a little later, but she has a much cleaner clearance for flight as compared to CasualTom, who kind of had to get off when things got a little bit sketchy.
I'm not sure if that was a voluntary dismount either, but CasualTom getting to the boss door, so Crab Cakes into the fight against Quickman, and actually switching weapons, going to the air shooter, and it seems pretty effective here.
Another great weakness found by Cupcakes.
Probably the big question is, with all these weaknesses that have been found, who's going to be the one to fully remember the weaknesses as the game goes on? Because it's going to come in very handy with the refights come later on.
Alright, so here's the true test. Crab Cakes, knowing that they have item 2, and unfortunately item 1 and item 3 are gated behind Heatman and Crashman. So we'll see if we can pick up an item 1 in Heatman.
Actually, that was incorrect. Item 3 was gated. Yeah, item 3 was gated by metal. So we don't know if item 1 is going to be gated by either Crash or Heat, as Crab Cakes takes an unfortunate fall just a few screens before trying to get to the midpoint.
He got scared by a mini bird there. I can get behind that, because the problem with these birds in Mega Man 2 is you can't predict how are they gonna knock back you. So you panic for a second there, and it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen.
So as we see on...
Sorry about that.
No, get in there.
Don't you love commentating like this?
Yeah, it's one of those times where you want to have like somebody next to you so you can kind of give hand signals, but unfortunately, not quite a possibility when we're half a world away from each other.
I was about to know CasualTom's use of item 2 in the moving platform section, but looked like he was having a little bit of struggle, so he's not able to use item 2 as effectively as he probably could have. But he's probably going to use it one more time in this section, and there we go. So having item 2 here at the very least does cut a little bit of time here, but we're going to see what happens if this stage has the item 1, which would actually make the use of item 2 much more justified.
Yeah, the end of this stage, Crash or Heat, given item 1 will most probably decide which one is going to have the lead. Item 1 is beneficial in Heat, and I'm not sure. Yeah, item 1 is beneficial in Crash a lot, like a lot more than item 2. So this is going to be a pretty big time saver in the end.
Well, it'll basically come down to a coin flip then, but we see Crabcakes making it to the boss room at the end of the Heat stage. CasualTom still has a good part of the ascent at the back half. What was that? I blinked my eyes and the Robot Master was donezo on Crabcake's side.
That was a Buster Soft weak flash, and we do find item 1 in its vanilla stage, might I add. So, hey, that's gonna be some helping Crash.
Yep, winner chicken dinner. Cupcakes is very lucky on this seed. I'm really looking forward to see how much luck he's gonna have on the Wilys. He's doing very well. Excuse me. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, either way, better lucky than good, from my point of view. Sometimes it just comes down to exactly that.
I'd rather be both, thank you very much.
Yes, please.
Quite true.
Anyway, we find Woodman, our final Robot Master in Crash stage. Also Buster Soft weak. CasualTom literally pushing through the leaf shield, just making absolute short work and chopping the wood down very handily.
Crabcake's losing a little bit of time there, getting zapped by the metal slinky at the top of the ladder and getting knocked down. But here we go. The race is on. CasualTom into Heatman stage. Crabcakes through the first half of the Crashman stage.
Remember again that Crabcakes did die here, so and he's still ahead. So she's still ahead. So I mean, she's going really fast for what's supposed to be a new runner.
It's as I said, I've been scouting her. She's capable of putting up some pretty solid times. She's probably one of the ones I will definitely say could be a dark horse in this tournament. As she goes up to the crash climb, skillfully using the item 3 to make the climb all the more faster. Meanwhile, we're gonna see what CasualTom is gonna do with all these Chanky makers that pretty much just is littered through the second half of Heat.
Yeah, this is a rough section, and CasualTom actually pause buffering to make his landing a little safer so he doesn't get knocked out. Gonna take care of that wall, so that Chanky maker on the other side of this short wall, donezo, out of there.
Crabcakes begin her fight on wood. Wise decision to use the crash to try to pierce through the leaf shield, but as we all know, the Buster was pretty much effective on it, and she just does what we expect and just absolutely demolishes him with heat. As we now begin to say, we finally see the best eyebrows in video gaming appear on our screen on Crabcake's side. It's time for one of our favorite games in the Mega Man 2 randomizer community. So, for those that are probably very, very much aware, the colors are randomized throughout the entire randomizer. And of course, that does include the Mecha Dragon. So, for those lovely people in the chat that would like to play along, guess the color of the Mecha Dragon. And as always, for extra credit, you can guess that weakness as well. Guys, would you like to start us off?
Rico, let's go, dude. I know what you're
All
gonna
right.
pick.
Yep. No,
I
no,
know.
you do it first. No, you do it.
No.
Do
Okay.
it.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know it. Blue Eyes White Dragon. And Heart of the Cards, it's gonna be Crash because I love explosions.
All right. Well, since you went Blue Eyes White Dragon, I am going to go Red Eyes Black Dragon, and I am going to stick with my Bubble Lead.
And y'all two can just put your Yu-Gi-Oh's references and go to a hotel YouTube.
Oh, there are more dragons in Yu-Gi-Oh! Creed. You can learn and just pick a third dragon, and we can do a combo.
It's I'm not well versed in my Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm well versed in Mega Man, and to facilitate that, I'm gonna stick to a true blue dragon and have Buster as a weakness.
Hey, come on now. I do have a trophy puzzle box in my room from like 10 years ago when I was actually good at the card game.
Yeah, I had the cards and I gave them away. It was a fun game. Now, all I remember were the dragons and some fat Pokemon guy, but
Ooh,
it doesn't
looks
matter.
like we have ourselves a Barbie world here with the dragon.
Oh, it's Buster!
Yeah, my
Oh.
Buster weakness at least came through. So, for those that are unfamiliar with the randomizer, when it comes to the Wily bosses, there is a 50% chance that it will be weak to the Buster. Of course, obviously, it will be immune otherwise. So, having Crab Case find Buster weakness is very good, especially if you're one of those ones that like to conserve weapons. It's very good for weapon conservation.
Wait, 50? Wasn't it 25? And only the machine was 50?
You
Or
know,
this is some new info that I'm
I'm
missing?
going to leave the nuts and bolts of the randomizer to you two guys, because you would know more about that than I do. I just know that the Wily machine, when I'm doing commentary, has like a 95% chance of just, alright, use the Buster, you're done, thanks for playing.
No, you use the booster for preserving ammo, but was it really 50? For every boss?
as far as I'm concerned, if it's a choice of it's immune or it's non-immune, to me that's 50-50. You can probably figure out the actual statistics later, but I'm going strictly with brass tacks.
Okay, I'm fine with that. We can also give the people some thumbs up about the weaknesses. Dragon has 2 weaknesses. Piku Piku that's coming up has 3. Goods Dozer has 2. And of course Boobies have
Booby
1.
turret.
Have 1.
Well, one thing to note about the Boo-Beam turrets in the Wily 4 stage, since we know the crash wall weakness on CasualTom's side, being the heat, we know that cannot also be the weakness for the Boo-Beam turrets themselves. It has to be separate from the crash wall.
So on the Crab Cake side, she's fishing right now. She found Crash and then used heat, but didn't like the ammo consumption. She's searching for something else. Finds Boomerang, which is pretty good ammo consumption-wise in this seed. So she's gonna mash them all down.
I think the problem with the crash bomb was that it stuck to the wall for 5 seconds.
Well, she could have found out if she could fire another crash bomb. One of the things about the randomizer, is particularly with the crash bomb, is that you can still fire another crash bomb if the seed allows. So if you fire a crash bomb and if you press the button again, it might be able to fire another crash bomb even though a crash bomb is out. But at this point, it doesn't matter. Crab Case sticks with Boomerang and she takes out Pico Pico very handily on her way to Wily 3.
Yeah, so we're halfway through the Wily section, and Crab Cake's starting to develop a bit of a lead here. CasualTom gonna explore the weaknesses, not Bubble Lead, not Metal Man, and probably gonna settle on the Quick Boomerang. So CasualTom has a bit of a deficit to work through as Crab Cake's making their way through Wily 3.
Very aggressive, no less. Just taking those frog hits and just plowing on through.
Speaking about Wily 3, we get to hear the lovely Mega Man 9 Galaxy tune for Wily 3 and Wily 4.
CasualTom taking on Pika on his end, following suit on Crab Cake's tail on Wily 3, but we still have at least just a little under a stage behind. But Crab Cake makes it to the Guts tank, and we're gonna do some weakness hunting.
Well, looks like going with a straight up, okay, let's check the Buster.
Oh,
And Air Shooter just dumpsters the
one
Guts
of the
tank.
most strongest weaknesses for the Guts tank.
The fact that it was a three tornado shot definitely sped that fight up.
Yeah, we kind of miss to go deeper on that, I guess. Each weapon has its randomized gimmick. In Air's case, it can shoot one projectile, 2 or 3. I believe they're around 4. So 3 is the maximum amount, and being a weakness makes it very, very beneficial.
Okay, so we got Crab Cakes going through Wily 4. One of the major notices about Wily 4 is that those platforms, you know, they're fake platforms. The fake platforms from the prior screen and this particular one, those are randomized. Of course, if you got items like Crab Cakes and got enough energy, you can just pretty much bypass all of it, which was a very wise decision. You don't want to make guesses on which fake floor is where.
Yeah, especially when you have a spike pit underneath, so if you guessed wrong, you're taking a death. Not what you want to have happen. Crab Cakes through the first elevator section very smooth, so looks like pretty smooth sailing so far through the Great Equalizer here. About the only thing we may worry about is the hamburgers, but oh, nice timing.
She's flying, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Very wise pause buffer. She could have waited a little bit, have the platform get a little closer to her before she make the jump, but pause buffering just makes the ball velocity and that jump a lot safer. Remember, while this is zipless, this isn't 100% glitchless.
Alright, so this is where Crab Cakes may stumble, but it looks like gonna stick to the plan. Try the Metal Blade and the Leaf Shield to see if we can hit the Boo Beam turrets. And it looks like not gonna be effective with the Leaf Shield, so Crab Cake's gonna have to do a little bit of searching, where CasualTom knows what the wall weakness is.
And with it being heat, you can very much expect it to probably be one of the last, if not the last, weapon to check in this regard. Being a charge heat is one of those weapons that you really never want to be used as a weakness of any kind.
Yeah, very true. Crab Cakes did go through a pretty big part of the toolbox. So now, with the first section done, it looks like bubble lead for the turrets.
Not bad, not bad. You can potentially get the last 2 without making the jump. Seems that this is a high flying bubble.
Yeah, up to destroy that final block. The height that the bubble leg could fire could be much higher, but of course this seed says no. So she's gonna have to make that little extra effort to take care of that last turret, as she's the first to go through our refights, where we're gonna have some bomb man throughout this entire refight.
And yeah, we can see how fast Tom is making up time. He knows everything, and he's almost destroyed them all while she's still on her second refight.
Yeah, we're looking at about maybe a 15-second or so advantage for Crab Cakes, which really translates to maybe 2 Robot Masters. Depending on what this third one is, Crab Cakes might be able to finish 3. But no, Crab Cakes on the third, CasualTom on their first.
Yeah, but the reversal comes here. She knows a lot of weaknesses.
Does she remember those weaknesses, though?
Huh.
That's going to be key.
Yeah, that is a key part of this. You know, having the information and retaining it and using it, those are very different skills. You know,
Of course, you also got the classic battle of clockwise versus counterclockwise in our boss refight routing.
Big boys go counterclockwise. We all know that.
Alright, so here's one of the big ones. Crab Cakes does remember the Heatman weakness, so this will go quickly.
As she remembers, she's destroying them. One after another. She finds something for metal, though. I guess not, but he's soft weak, so 4 damage.
So far, Crab Cake's looking good to make it through these final Robot Masters and into the Wily machine. CasualTom not doing too bad for himself, but still 2 fights behind. CasualTom not using a weapon on Crashman, so might end up costing him a little bit as Crab Cakes finishes off and into the Wily machine.
All right, big question. Immune or not immune? Not immune.
I'm happy to see that it's not immune. TVH.
You know, I'm doing commentary, so like I said, the probability I think is like 90% so far for the Wily machine. It's been 1 game out of every one I've done this far this year where the Buster has not been the weakness on the Wily machine.
Come on, let's not be evil. You know, the Wily machine can do to your ammo, and you know how much time do you waste and what can happen in the end if you waste all that ammo? It's better to be Buster. Let's get real.
Oh, I know that, but Crab Cake's already most of the way through Victory Road, but CasualTom making up a good bit of time here, dropping down into Victory Road himself here. So Crab Cake's at the boss door. This could come down to who finds the weakness first.
They're like 30 seconds apart. Something like this.
It's gonna depend on who finds the weakness first. So looks like we got Crab Cakes doing some second page diving, and second page isn't working, so the dig continues. As CasualTom is literally right on her heels.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a close one. Oh, Crab Cake's not able to find the weakness, so the advantage that she had is now gone.
Wow, this is so sad. Come
Oh my
on,
god,
man.
CasualTom finds it right away. Crab Cake's down to the last hit. Oh my god.
Wow, okay.
That had to have been maybe a second apart from each other. So
Well,
I don't want to call it a tie just yet, but the iPad is telling me that was tough.
guys,
I'm just saying.
SRL, we got a dead tie.
Dead tie on SRL. Well, SRL knows best. I mean, timers are fine, but SRL...
Well then, both Crab Cakes and CasualTom finished with an official SRL time of 33 minutes, 22 seconds.
Wow.
So I'm going to defer to the resident admin, LV Creed, who happens to just be in the chat and now going to get put on the spot.
Oh
Let's
no,
get an
this
this
is a tie. No questions asked. This is a virtual tie. There is absolutely zero debate on this.
What's the SRL time?
Wow. So 3 matches so far, and 2 of them are inaugural kickoff match started with a Game 1 tie. And our first game in this match between Crab Cakes and CasualTom also ending in a tie. This is fantastic.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Cupcakes, too.
Oh, I do too. But it just goes to show that it's still no lead is safe. Crabcakes had, I think you said about a 30-second lead, and that all went away just because Crabcakes went searching in the wrong place for the item to take down the alien at the end. And it's just so unfortunate to see something like that happen. But then again, she didn't lose, so glass half full.
I've seen a couple of guys say CasualTom win faster. That doesn't matter. What matters is when he presses his done button in SRL. When he does that, SRL stops the timer, and that's where we see the real times of the people, not their timers.
Now, for the record, yes, it may have looked like CasualTom landed the final hit sooner. However, that's not entirely the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There is a 3-second buffer provided by SRL, and it is the SRL official times that matter. So, as Siberian Bull is bringing up in the chat, the rule for this tournament is if the SRL times are 3 seconds or closer, then it is deemed a drawn match. Or, in this case, a drawn game as part of the match. So I'm going to get the dustpan, I'm going to sweep this game away, and we're going to restart. It will be game 2, however, our score will be 0-0, as game 1 has been ruled a draw.
For everlasting peace.
Right now, just getting things up on SRL and getting to see ready for our runners. Which, if match 1 is any indication, we're going to be in for another long night.
Oh, that's all right.
Yo, Creed, there was a question in chat. What was the official difference? If you can, if you did remember the times.
In SRL, no difference. Yeah. Absolutely no difference. Both times were exactly. Hang on, I'm hearing.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of an echo from somewhere. Oh, uh-oh.
Saying, yeah, it's not from me, no.
But, you know, for what little it matters, you know, Crabcakes did done first, but I think it was literally a blink of an eye between the dones. You know, on stream, you could argue CasualTom finished first, because CasualTom on the stream did land the first hit, and it looked like there was that little bit of like a maybe half a second of a beat while Crabcakes fired their last shot. But you know what? Is everything synced up perfectly? We can't tell. That's why the draw rule is in place, where if we have the runners finishing within 3 seconds of each other, it is a tie.
All I can say is we get to watch more, which is always good.
You know, yeah, we could end up getting 4 games in, possibly 5 if we have another tie. So, you know, definitely
Yo, Rico, why don't you
a little bit of overtime.
Why don't you slip up one of those nasty seeds, Rico? I would really appreciate that.
Oh no. You don't want me to repeat what I did to him yesterday in that first seed.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty nasty.
We'll be scaring people away, not drawing them in after that. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, nice. Another opening scroll that I remember fondly from my childhood in high school.
Oh, Shang Tsung, yeah. This is MK.
Yes, it is. That's usually one of the things I like to bring up to kill some time between games, is that Mega Man 2 in the randomizer has the opening scroll randomized That one was easy. It was Mortal Kombat. But I'm interested to see how many people remember what the first opening scroll was, and if they know what game it was.
What was the first opening scroll?
It was the opening to Shadow of the Ninja.
Oh, Shadow of the Ninja Netsume. That game had amazing soundtrack as well. I do remember that game. I do remember dying in that game.
Well, we got the official countdown on RC, so in a few moments, match 2, where hopefully someone will actually win a game, is about to begin.
Yeah, we just had a 33-minute practice run between the two. Literally, I saw the screen of the timers on the screen in the first match of 2 days ago, and I believe they were 0.04 of a second apart from each other when they landed the final hit. It would be interesting to see if I could get a photo finish on that particular seed we just saw, just to see how much of a difference there truly was between the runners.